In this lesson, we're going to install SQL Server 2012 Express. This is the website that we're going to be using to download SQL Server 2012 Express, and there'll be a link provided for you. So we'll click this download button right here, and this modal pops up. Now this seems like a ton of options, and it is. All the different downloads are just different features, so you can get a smaller download if you don't need as many features. We're going to need everything, so if you're running an x64 system, you need to choose this option right here. I'm on an x86 option, so I'm going to go down and choose this option right here. So I'm going to select that and hit next. And as you can see, it's a pretty big download, so it's going to take some time. And once it's downloaded, we'll just click on this to run it. And it could take a little bit to open. All right, so we'll run it. And it'll have to extract the files. So you should see this screen. And this may look like there's too many options, but the only one we're going to have to worry about is this one right here, a new SQL Server standalone installation. All right, we'll send the license terms. You can send whether you want to send the usage to Microsoft, it's your choice. It's going to check for updates, and it found one update, so yes, we want to apply it. And you may get this computer restart dialog, which is fine, just hit OK. And you may get this right here. Some of you may be fine, some of you might get this failed active template library. And in that case, you'll have to restart your computer. So we'll do a quick restart. And now that we've restarted, we'll go back to where we downloaded our file and we'll double click it to get started. And after it extracts the files, we'll click on New SQL Server Standalone Installation again. And it'll do a rule check. And since we installed an update, there's no more updates for this. And we'll click to accept the terms. And this is where we'll select our features. And keep in mind that a lot of you will go straight to this section and won't require a restart. So everything that's selected here is everything we need, so we'll just hit next. And you can have a default instance or a named instance. For SQL Express, I like to have a named instance, and so I just like to call it SQL Express, so we'll keep going. And these are the service accounts. Now this is nothing you have to worry about, so we'll keep going. And right here, this is a very important step. We're going to want mixed mode. And then you can have your password for the SA account, so choose whatever you want. And the importance of having mixed mode is that you can log in with other users outside of your Windows account, in which some cases will be very helpful. So we'll hit next. And this right here doesn't really matter, so we'll just keep going. And if you can send any error reports if you want, doesn't really matter. And now the installation will start. And this generally can take a good amount of time, so go get yourself a sandwich or maybe pull up a YouTube video because you'll be waiting for just a little bit. And after what feels like years, you finally have SQL Server 2012 installed. But trust me, it's going to be completely worth it. And we'll go and search SQL Studio. And here's Management Studio, so we'll launch that. And you should see your server name, which will be your computer name, which in my case is this long virtual machine name, and then the SQL Express instance. And you can log in with Windows authentication or the SA account that you created while setting this up. For now, we'll just log in with Windows authentication. Click Connect, and you should be in. So a quick little demo. To the left over here is the Object Explorer. This is where you can create and manage your databases. Right now we have these report servers, which we don't really need, so we'll just ignore those. And we can get rid of them too if you want. And we'll say a new database. Let's create a test database. And our database name, we'll just call it test because we're real clever. And now we have a test database. Let's say we want to add a table. Well, we can do it with the GUI editor, and we can say new table. And we can start creating our column names, kind of how you would in Access. But if you want to do it with SQL, you can click New Query up here. And you can do all your SQL statements in here. So we can say create table test. And we'll create a test ID, and we'll give it a value of an integer. And if we execute, we come down here to tables and we see that we have DBO test. And sometimes you'll create a table. So we'll create another table. And you can highlight right here and just hit execute, and it'll just execute what you highlighted. And now you can see that test 2 doesn't exist down here. But if you right click and click refresh on tables, you'll see test 2. And then we can right click on any tables we've created and click the design, and then we get back into that access-like editor. So SQL Server has tons of capabilities. That's kind of why it was such a big install, but it's extremely powerful and it's going to help you do a lot of things.